Okay everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the model in place tool to create kind of custom pieces that could pertain, you could utilize in your project. Before I show that, the one thing I do want to mention, whenever you're thinking of adding something to your building, and probably the most thing that I've gotten asked about is screens, types of screens and shading devices. Always look for stuff like that either through AutoDeskSeek.com or RevitCity.com, and this is a place where people create kind of Revit families that you can search for and download, and you can search to see if there's anything that kind of meets what you want, and you bring it in. Because sometimes you can find something that's close to what you're looking for, and then easily manipulate the family file that you download, and then bring that into your project. Whereas creating something in place could take a little bit longer to do than just quickly editing and customizing a Revit family that you can download from online. Okay, so to model something in place, it's under the architecture tab, and then where it says component, if you click down on the drop down menu, you'll see there's model in place. So you click on model in place, and then these are all the different types of family categories that you have. Kind of, you can see doors, and scroll down, you have walls and windows. So you want to pick a category that's kind of close to what you're creating. If you're creating like a lighting fixture, obviously you'd probably pick lighting fixture, or if you're creating a custom door, you'd pick door. So you always want to pick a category that's close to what you're creating. For this one, I'm going to just pick wall, because I'm probably going to do like a quick screen kind of thing as an example. So I'm just going to pick wall. And then you can see that once you pick the wall, you can name it something. So I'm just going to rename this one screen, but obviously you want to name something that you can find again if you need to. So you can see right now, so this is kind of the window that you get once you activate that model in place. So these 5 tools right here are extrusion tools that you can use. And if you hover over one, hopefully my video will work. Yeah. So if you hover over one, you can kind of get a quick video of what it does. If you hover over sweep, you can see that it's going to sweep the profile along the path. So these are, and I'm not going to go show you every single one of these. That's something that you can explore on your own. Then you can see, if you click on this void forms, you get the same 5 tools, but as a void option. So you can use this to void out of a solid object. Through there. And then the other big thing that's on here is the set work plane. So right now, since I started this in level 1, my work plane is level 1. So if I click on this set, you can see the name. I can pick a different level. Obviously, if you have more than 2 levels in your project, all of those levels will be populated here that you can pick. The other thing that you can do, which is very useful, is you can pick a plane, and I'm going to show that in a second. That you can use. You can draw reference planes and reference lines, but it can get pretty confusing, particularly if you're not used to using Revit. So the way that I'm going to show you how to do kind of get a new plane is a lot simpler, and a little easier to do. So you can see right now I just switched to the 3D view, and you can see that I don't have anything going on in this project. I just opened the architectural template. And then even in 3D, you can see you'll see the work plane is still on level 1. So right now I can go to level 1 or level 2, and I don't have a work plane because I don't have anything modeled. Now if I go back to level 1, let me actually exit out of this quickly. I'm just going to put in a couple of walls, just quick walls, and then go back to 3D. And then reinitiate the model in place. So now you can see if I go to set, pick plane, I can pick the facades of the wall as a working plane. Now obviously when you start designing your building, you're going to have walls that you can pick on, as work planes or any type of plane if it's a floor or anything like that. But sometimes there may be a plane that you want that's not there. So sometimes the easiest thing is to just create a quick first extrusion that you can use as your plane for your next extrusion. So like say I needed a work plane that was 45 degrees to this wall. I can draw an extrusion that's 45 degrees. Let's see there it is. And I'll show you how to actually utilize that with the heights and stuff in a second. And then I can finish. And then now, go back into it. I can reset the work plane now that I created that one. And I can pick that facade. And then, I can do a different extrusion off of that facade now that it's in a place that I want it. And so like now I can do something like that, and then I can delete that first one that I did. So that's kind of a quick way that you can kind of create a fake plane without having to do reference planes or reference lines. So that's that one. But going back to actually show you the extrusions now. So this one I'm going to set the work plane back to level 1. So when you click on something like the simple one, extrusion, you can see you get the custom draw tools that you can draw, any shape that you want. And then, so this extrusion starts, so that means it starts, if it's at 0, it starts right at the plane. And then end, it's going to extrude itself by 1 foot. Obviously, if I put this as a foot and then this 2 feet, it would start a foot up from the work plane and go, another foot higher. Sometimes, depending on your work plane, this 2 feet, you're not really sure. Like in this instance, it's either up or down. Depending on where your work plane is, you may not know what direction that extrusion is going to occur. So the easiest thing is just to put in the number, the length that you want, and then see which way it's going. So right now it is going up, but if I wanted it to go down, I could just change this to be negative, and it'll go down. You can see here that there's the push and pull ones that you can just push and pull if needed. You can also use tools like align to pick another plane and align it to that, depending on where stuff is in your design. So that's that. And you'll notice once you start to use this tool more that there's multiple ways to do things. You can do an extrusion and then void something out, which I'll show. You can do a sweep to kind of do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick kind of like screen that you may want to do. So I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in a glass wall. So the screen kind of looks more, well, probably more like a shading device, I would say, if you wanted to call it that. But I'm just going to put in a glass wall so you can see it a little bit more effectively than if it was on a blank wall. So say if that's a curtain wall that you're using in your building, and you wanted to do like a quick shading device on it, and obviously what I'm going to show may not be a shading device that you want, and it's going to be a quick shading device too, where it's probably not with technical details that you'd see in an actual shading device. It's just something that you can show for rendering purposes. And then later on, depending on if it's real working environment and you had to do details for it, you could add those details in later for construction documents. So I'm going to go back to mono in place. I'm going to do wall again, call it screen, and so I'm going to do an extrusion, and I'm going to pick this side kind of mullion because I want the plane to be on the side. And then now I can do, I'm kind of doing the supports first for the, the shading device. And then, this is quick, so it's not going to be actual dimensions or anything like that. So again, once you initiate this, you get all your extrusion tools. When you're drawing, so you have like your trim and your line, not extrusion tools, I should say your kind of modify create tools, where you can trim stuff and everything like that. And those always kind of come in helpful, when you so you don't have to kind of keep drawing stuff over and over again. Like, these, if I want to move them to the bottom. I'm actually only going to go down to this. So it's not the full length of it. And then, you can properly align it. And then, you have your dimensions. So these two lines, I can click on it and, make it so it's in the right spot. And then I can trim these. I'm actually going to pull these out a little bit, maybe like another 4 inches, just so you can kind of get the effect. And then you probably want one in the middle. I'm just going to eye it. I'm actually not going to measure. You can split, split. So you have like the split tool and everything like that. And I'm going to say I want it to go 2 inches. So you can see I picked the side because I'm extruding it sideways. I'm running this way. So you can see it went the other way. First of all, I put in the wrong length, but it went the other way. So I want it to go back. So I'm going to do negative 2 inches. So you can see it kind of starts to create a support. Now once you have one in, which is the nice thing, there's two things that you can do. One, you can kind of just copy it over. You can see how it's only letting me go in one direction here. The other thing you can, like, I can only move it, if I go to copy, I can only move it this way or up and down. It won't let me go to the, going back towards the window. That's because of the properties. But I believe if you click on it and call it a model group, so you can say screen support, now you should be able to start to move it. The other thing you can do too is just copy, paste, and once you paste it, I still know how to do it. So when you have that, if you ever run into that issue there, what you can do is, okay, so instead of showing you what I was about to show you with the trying to get it to go over, what I want to show you first is what happens when you group it, like I just did when I clicked on the one and created a group. So now you can see they're the same element. So if I go in and edit this, it'll change that one automatically. So you can see it when you make it a group, it kind of knows that it's the same element, so it'll update both of them at the same time. So if you ever change any, once you have to change something, it'll update it, automatically. But so you can see here, like if I ungroup this, so it's just what I did, and then I copy it. If I just copy it here, and then if I pull this, you can see it doesn't update that. I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to continue on in the next video to show you how to put these all across and then add the screens to them as well. Like the shading part, the horizontal ones.